This is Russ. Yep, time to show you another new bike. It's not from a new brand because I've worked with them before, but here's the latest for me. This is the Troxus Lynx 2 Up. Now, if you are a longtime Russ is Right viewer, you might remember I actually reviewed the original Troxus Lynx. Yeah, this was several years ago. Well, the Lynx has gone through several changes over the years, and there's multiple types of Troxus Lynxes out there now. This one's called the 2 Up. So what does this thing run? Because this is always the question people always ask me right up front. $21.99, okay? So what is so special about this new 2 Up version? Well, I think the first thing you'd notice is that, yeah, you could put a passenger in the back if you like. Yeah, they even have foot pegs for them here on each side. Let's show you on each side there. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about this this bike. So it's a step-through e-bike, right? A lot of us nowadays like the step-through designs because it's just easier to get through. The vast majority of the bikes that I usually get today are step-through bikes for review. I usually ask them for that anyway. And I think what a lot of people notice immediately is these Kenda 20-inch by 3.3-inch tires. Now, what's so different about it is there's a different tread pattern on here. So it allows you to be able to go on the road, a little bit off-road too. But I think what stands it out really is the gum wall. Yeah, the gum wall tires. Definitely different. These are made by Kenda, so a good brand, of course. And they're anti-puncture Kevlar belts on them as well. So yeah, that's really nice, a little bit different. We have Tektro hydraulic brakes up on top over here. Yep, and the difference is on the rotors. They put some pretty heavy-duty rotors on these things. 203 millimeter front and rear rotors. Now it's kind of hard to see this one because you can see there's this paneling in the way there. And that's basically because if you have a rear passenger, you don't want their feet to accidentally get stuck in there, right? So you got the foot pegs in there, you got that the paneling right here so that they can't get their feet caught in there. That's kind of nice. The bike weighs 73.6 pounds with the batteries, okay? There's a front fork suspension with 60 millimeters of travel. And of course you have your typical lockout stuff here on the top and preload sections over there so you can decide how much travel you need. 28 miles per hour pedaled, 20 miles per hour throttled. This seems to be fairly common in today's market now. So it will go up to 70 miles if you are a lower in weight person and if you're traveling with pedal assist level 1, okay? Shimano Altus shifter and derailleur over here, which is nice. The shifter is a trigger shifter, so you have a shifter in the front, shifter in the back. It is 8 speeds, okay? The motor itself is a Nanda 750 watt hub motor with 85 Newton meters of torque. Now with that much torque, we expect that this will probably do pretty well going over the hill test, which we'll do a little later. The battery is a 48 volt, 15 amp hour, which makes it 720 watt hours. It's integrated into the down tube. It is UL 2771 certified Samsung cells in there. So you can assure that you've got nice cells that are nice and safe too. Total payload capacity is 360 pounds. And this is a torque and cadence sensor bike. So you can switch that within the menu of the bike. There's a color display up on top here. I've seen this display on other bikes before too. So they're not the only one using this particular display. But it's a nice color display. There are turn signals as well. So if you push the button here, okay, you'll see that up here, it'll start blinking on you. To cancel, you hit the button again and it'll turn that off. So what it looks like in the back, of course, is it kind of looks like this. You see that? So again, if you push it a second time, it will cancel that out. And of course, if you hold the brakes, that'll turn on the brake light as well. So of course you have the ability to have a front headlight right here, a small little headlight in the front. And of course you have, and that's 30 lux by the way, rear light with tail lights as well. So I'm going to cancel that out. All I have to do is just push the button a second time, and that'll cancel out the left turn signal there. Okay, there is a thumb throttle on this particular model. It is a left-handed thumb throttle. Many of the bikes now have left-handed thumb throttles if they have trigger shifters, because there's not a whole lot of space if you don't put it on the left, so it's always on the left side. And the control pad is multifunctional, so center being on and off, left and right turn signals, up and down is your pedal assist levels. There's 5 levels of pedal assist. Walking mode is holding down the bottom, the negative number here. There's info buttons, and of course your light button here too. Turn on the light, just hold those things a little longer, okay? All right, controller. 22 amp controller built into the bike. For those who are interested as far as the chain ring, we have 46T on the chain ring, okay? Will you end up ghost pedaling? Yeah, you're gonna ghost pedal this bike. Okay, it's just something so that you know that. The Troxus has a Troxus comfort saddle, which is actually not so bad. It actually feels pretty decent. And the seat post goes pretty high. It's 400 millimeters in seat post length. So I have plenty of ability to get a good leg extension on this bike. It actually feels really good as I'm riding it. Positioning is really nice on this bike. It has a different type of handlebar, as you can see. And it's kind of a BMX style handlebar. Yeah, it's a nice looking bike. Its in color is gray. So yeah, this is the new Troxus Lynx 2 Up. Now, will I be putting somebody in the back? Nah, I don't think so, not me. But if you have little kids, then you can. And those foot pegs, you can just pop those up if you don't need them. I usually leave them up because I don't carry anybody. Let me push that up a little bit better there. And then I just ride, because you know, if the foot pegs are out and you don't use them, it's just another thing you can bump yourself onto. So I don't do that. There you go. All right, so let's give this a bike a try. Let's see what it does. Overall, I think it looks pretty nice. It feels good. It's a 20-inch wheel style bike, step-through model. So yeah, it's pretty easy for most people. All right, let's take it out. Let's see how it goes. Okay, hopefully I have a decent angle for you there. We're gonna head ourselves towards the hill test as we usually do. So I have it currently at pedal assist level 3 as I go through this general area. I'm also riding currently on cadence sensor. Let's move our pedal assist level up a little bit. They'll go to 4. Get through this bridge first. Okay, so throttling through here is actually pretty nice. The motor is relatively quiet. I mean, you do hear the whine of the motor, but it's not obnoxiously loud. We're doing about 18, 19 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and pedal this. Yeah, it's a little fast for this area, so I'm gonna drop ourselves down to pedal assist level 3. Which brings me to about 15, 16 miles an hour. Running into pebbles and the like. You hear that thing pop on my wheel. Yeah, sometimes that happens. All right, there's a lot of curves on here. This particular stretch of the path always tends to be a little bumpy. But the front suspension seems to help out. Let's go back to pedal assist level 4. That'll bring you close to around 20 miles per hour. 19, it says. When you hit 5 and you pedal, yeah, you can hit 28 miles an hour. I've done it on the way coming here. We're not gonna go 28 miles an hour down this path. There's nobody out here this morning. I decided to come way early in the morning today. It's going to be a hot day, and I figured I'd have less chance of running into people on the path, so we'd be able to do the hill test a little bit easier. All right. Brakes work very well on this bike. There's no squeal that I've noticed so far. Just going to stop here, make sure everybody keeps us safe. The bus is stopping, letting me through, so I'm going to go through. Path speed limit here is 12 miles per hour, which of course is way slow for an e-bike. We'll try our best to stay within a certain range, but I'm going to have to do the hill test. Of course, that's going to go a little bit faster when we go through that area. I'll go here. There's no bell on this bike. Passing on your left. Thank you. That's one thing I would suggest that Troxus consider is put a bell on the bike. Even an inexpensive bell is better than no bell, but there's no bell on here too. You might notice too that I don't have a side view mirror, which I usually put on here. I wanted to keep this one as is to see how the feel is when you first get the bike. What I would typically do for myself is I usually put the side view mirrors on the top of the handlebar. I would probably move my control pad that's over here. I'd probably move it in a little bit and put the mount over here. Some people do the bar end type mirrors, but I prefer the other type. All right, so we're going to move our pedal assist level down since we're supposed to only be doing 12 miles an hour. So let's see, I'm on pedal assist level 2. That seems to get me at 12 miles per hour as I pedal. Let me lower my gear ratio here too a little bit, make it a little bit easier. Yeah, so this seems really slow to me at 12 miles per hour. Well, there's nobody here. I'm going to move it up a little bit. I'll go with pedal assist level 3, change my gears to gear 7. That'll put me about 15, 16 miles per hour. We're going to need that speed thing anyways when we approach the hill. Yeah, it's a nice feeling on the bike. I am in a fairly good upright position, so I'm not leaning forward too bad or anything. Yeah, this does remind me of the original Troxus Lynx that I had several years ago. And I believe that particular motor was a little bit louder than I preferred, but this new Ananda motor seems fairly good. You know, you have your typical motor whine that all of the bikes typically will have, but is not obnoxiously loud. All right, we're getting close to the hill test. So here's how we do the hill test in case you're new here. Typically what we do is we'll stop at the end of this bridge. I'll put our pedal assist levels to level 5, even though the pedal assist level does not affect your throttle amount. But I always do it anyways because some bikes do, and this way nobody can say that we didn't do it the same as the other bikes. So here's the bridge. So what we do is we totally stop here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle the display screen downwards so you can, I'm going to angle the camera so you can see the display screen. Let's go. And I just throttle, okay? I throttle, give it as much as it can go, and we'll see that the speed will slow down. Now I do see some people on the top of the hill. Hopefully we can get past them without a problem. So we're doing around 19 something miles an hour. Let's see how this goes. All right, we got people there. We got people on the cross thing. Let's hope that we can get there before they do. And we're at 12.0. So crossing over the top of the hill on this is 12.0 miles per hour. That's pretty typical for about 85 Newton meters of torque. I'm going to turn ourselves around here. All right, so let's head back. So 12.0, it's respectable. It's in the range of what many of the other bikes would do that have 85 Newton meters of torque, so not so bad. All right, let's slow down a little bit here going down the hill. Tend to speed up as you go down the hill, of course. 12 miles per hour. Let me see, what's 12 miles per hour feel like here? That's about here. Let's bring that pedal assist level down a little bit there. It's very hard to maintain 12 miles per hour. I know that even with non-electric bikes, many of the non-electric bike riders go way past 12 miles per hour as well. We'll take the bike back out on the street. It'll make it a little bit easier for us to do the remaining parts of the test here. Yeah, the feel is actually very good on this bike. I really like the upright position. I'm sitting nice and straight up and down, not really leaning over. You can adjust that, of course, based on how close you put the handlebars. I have it tilted back just slightly. All right, we're gonna pass these guys who are running. Yeah, having a bell would be easier. Kind of give them a forewarning, but I don't have a bell, so we'll have to yell out to them. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be passing on your left. Thank you. Yeah, Troxus, please add a bell. I've noticed some of the bike companies have not been adding bells, but really I think the bell is kind of necessary. If not, you can always buy a bell. People have always asked me, where do I get my bells? Because they seem to like the bells that I choose. Yeah, I usually get that on AliExpress, just so that you know, because they're inexpensive. I buy multiples at a time, put on the bikes, but I didn't put it on this bike yet. I will though. Yeah, it's bright and early today. It's about 7:15, 7:20 in the morning, something like that. All right, yeah, nice day today. It's not hot. This is a perfect day to do a bike review. I've had the bike for a couple days now, close to almost a week, in fact. I just have not had the opportunity to go out. We've had very strange weather this week. Every time I felt like going out, it would rain, and the rain wasn't a lot. It was just kind of like drizzled, but it was enough to keep me off. And by the time it stopped raining, then it's really humid, so I didn't do it then. We're lucky in our area we didn't get flooding. I know that in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, they were flooded out really bad. But here in the Chicago area, we didn't get that much. So we were lucky. All right, let's go to stop here. Oh, and the person's letting me through, so we wave thank you. We'll head out towards the street once we get off this section of the path. All right, let's go to pedal assist level 4 here. Nobody's on the path right now, so we're gonna go a little bit faster. So it's easy to pedal. If you're on a cadence sensor, it's relatively easy to pedal. Like I said, you do have ghost pedaling happening on this bike. Ghost pedaling, for those who don't know, is basically as long as you keep your pedals moving, you are able to get the speed that you need, but you don't feel any resistance on the pedal. It's almost like you're not really helping in pushing the bike forward. Your pedaling is just basically maintaining the rotary part of it so that the sensor knows that you want to move forward. So the speed is basically determined by the pedal assist levels that you have on the controller here on the left-hand side. Yeah, tires feel good. It's got good grip. It's a good path type tire. Okay, Make sure that the other bike was moving in that direction there. All right, so we're heading back to where we originally started out at. Yeah, let's cut through this way. I don't think I've ever cut through this way before. Be able to get to the street level quicker. Yeah, okay, nice. All right, let's open this up and let's see how we go here. So we're on pedal assist level 4 right now. We're getting our 19 to 20 miles per hour of speed. Let's go ahead and turn here. Yeah, I've never been down this area before. Interesting. Okay, let me show you real quickly how you change from one mode to the next, okay? Now on your display screen, if your display screen does not show a little icon here, you're on torque sensor mode, okay? If your display screen shows a little cyclist man over here, you're on cadence sensor mode, okay? So to switch back and forth between the two different modes, all you do is you use the control pad on the left-hand side, hold the plus button down. If you hold it down for a moment, it'll change that. So right now I'm on torque sensor mode, which means the harder I push down on the pedal, which I'm doing now, I'm getting more speed, obviously. Let me switch it back to cadence sensor mode. Okay, so my little icon is on. Now I'm gonna get that same speed no matter how hard I push on this pedal. All right, so I am on cadence sensor mode. So whatever your pedal assist level is set for, we're on currently pedal assist level 3, my maximum speed is gonna be 15 miles an hour. And my pedaling, I just have to just keep my legs moving and it's gonna give me that amount of assistance, okay? But on a torque sensor mode, if I wanted to go, you know, a little bit faster and I want to feel that ride like you're riding a standard bike without any assistance things, the torque sensor mode will give you that type of feel, okay? Let's go back to torque sensor mode here. You can immediately hear my motor is kicking up faster as I'm going to pedal harder here. You see, even though I'm on pedal assist level 3, the harder I press down, the faster I'm going, okay? So yeah, if you want to feel your ride, torque sensor mode is the way to go. If you're kind of tired out and you just want to move your legs to kind of keep your legs moving, but you don't want to press hard and you still want the assistance, cadence sensor mode is a lot easier for you then. Let's go forward. Yeah, so do I think so far. Yeah, I like it. It's nice. I think they did a decent job here. The bike is nice and compact feeling. It has plenty of power. Display screen is nice. Has nice graphics on there. Has a little graphic thing here. Let me see if I can angle up it. It kind of shows like a road, like you're moving on the road. It's kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, I've seen this display before on another bike that I had, so I'm familiar with the display screen. Adjustments in the advanced settings of the bike as P settings, so it's not written out in English for you. You have to kind of know what P1, P2, P3, that type of thing means. So I had the battery fully charged up when I started out. We're down to about 78% right now for our battery level. Yeah, nice. Good job, Troxus. I think this is pretty good. This is definitely different than the original Lynx that I had, I think. I think this new motor is really nice too. Seems to have very good response to it, and the The motor whine is minimal. Every motor has some type of whine to it, but this one's not obnoxiously loud, like I said. Okay. All right, we are back to the general area that we were in when we first started out here. Well, I learned a little bit about the neighborhoods in this area. Yeah, so who's this bike for? I would say this would be a good bike for somebody who says, I don't like a particularly large bike, but I want one that has enough on the bike that I don't feel like I'm riding a small little bike. It's kind of typical of your 20-inch wheel bike. I like the fact that it's not fully a 4-inch fat tire. 3.3 is actually a little bit more nimble. Not much, but I think a little bit easier than the 4-inch, and the style of the tire is nice and quiet. It's not very loud. You know, some of the 4-inch fat tires, you know, they're so knobby that if you're on anything like standard road like this, you would definitely hear the tire noise as well. I don't hear anything out of this tire. Seems pretty good. Yeah. You know, can you do off-roading very easily? Well, you could, but I think the tread pattern is actually more suitable for something like paths like we were on or on the street. Okay, so what's my overall conclusion on this Troxus bike? Yeah, it's nice. I think it would be good for someone who says, I want a bike to basically get around town. I might carry somebody on a passenger section. You know, I wouldn't put anybody really heavy in there. You know, a kid maybe, you know. I don't know what the maximum weight is on that thing. Usually these things are probably about 120, 130 pounds, something like that. So yeah, you don't want a big person in the back. But overall, the bike rides very well. It's easy to pedal. The motor is very good, actually. Yeah, so the Troxus Lynx 2 Up, what do I think? Yeah, it's a good bike. I think it's good for somebody who wants to have an easy riding bike that can jump between torque sensor and cadence sensor easily. Yeah, just hold that plus button on the control pad here, and it'll jump back and forth between the two modes. You can do it on the fly. So if you're interested in one of these Troxus Lynx 2 Up e-bikes for yourself, go ahead and look at the affiliate link that I have inside the description of my video. That'll bring you right there to place the order. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice bike. Thank you to Troxus for letting me try out the bike and having faith in the Russ is Right channel again. Hey, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you already haven't done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.